Hey guys, so today I will be telling you all about my pregnancy story. So let's go back to the beginning. I met my now husband, but boyfriend at the time, when we were 12. We were 12. We were in 7th grade, yes. And I met him through how do I explain it? At the time I had a best friend, and she was dating my husband's older brother. And my mom became best friends with my husband's mom. So one day she invited his family to dinner, and that's how I met him. And we were, like I said, 12. I am now 20, if you can't tell by the title. So yeah, but I wanted to tell you kind of how we met. Now, fast forward to 2019. I got pregnant like late December, beginning of January. No, it's like late December, like Christmas time. I actually went on vacation with his family to Mexico. It was not the first time I've done this. I've gone to Texas with his family, and I've also been to Mexico once before, a couple years prior. And I've been going on vacation with his family since I was about 16 years old. Nothing new. My parents have gone before, like my mom and his mom are like best friends. My dad and his dad are literally best friends. So, and then we were best friends. And even if when we were dating, because it was like an on and off relationship, you know, when you're in high school, it's not like, it's serious, but it's not like serious, you know, until you like leave high school. You know what I mean? Because like, that's like when you like start your life. So, yeah. I have notes here, by the way, so I don't forget anything, because pregnancy brain is no joke. So like I said, I went on vacation, and when we were having sex, there was no protection at all. We were not using condoms, and I was never on the pill. So yeah, that kind of is why we're in this predicament. So I didn't know I was pregnant until like 2 months after we came back from our trip. Yeah. So I didn't even realize that like I was feeling dizzy. I was like not feeling like myself. But then again, when I got back, my dad was sick. I think he had the flu, and then he gave me the flu. So for like a week straight, I was like dying in bed. I literally didn't leave my bed. I had toilet paper just all around my bed, because I just kept blowing all the boogers out. And once it was over, I was like, okay, like whatever. But then I kept feeling like really nauseous and dizzy, and like so dizzy to the point where like I really felt like I was going to pass out. And in the past, I have not been a very nutritious woman. I actually have fainted before, and so I just thought it was my health. I just thought I need to get myself together and be more conscious of what I'm eating, and just like eat more. So there was this one night where I was on the couch. I was watching Criminal Minds with my little brother, and my mom, she was cleaning, and she was like scrubbing the dishes, but I felt her staring at me. So I was like, what? Like I called her out like twice. I was like, what? What are you looking at? And then she was like, nothing. You know, like it looked like she wanted to tell me something. Like she looked like she was like I don't know, kind of with like a plan in her head or something. She just had like this like weird smirk, and she was like, and I was like, what? And she was like, nothing. So then it cut to like commercial, I remember. And so I was like on my phone, and my little brother was on his phone, and then she like comes up to me, and she whispers in my ear, and she's like, when was the last time you got your period? By the way, that was not a fart. I'm on a bouncy ball right now, so that's, and I moved, so that's why it probably sounded like I farted. So she was like, when was the last time you got your period? And I actually got my period the day we were leaving for Mexico. So it had been a while at this point, and she knew I was always cranky, and like I had really bad cramps. So like she knew when I was on my period, and she had realized that I wasn't bitching basically about having my period. So she was like, when was the last time you had it? And I was like, I don't know, like before I left Mexico. And I don't lie to my mom. She knew that I was sexually active, or when I was sexually active or whatever. She knew. And so she was like, this is a little fishy. And I told her, and I was like, well, it should be coming like next week or something like that, right? And I think it really was. But like I skipped a whole month. I wasn't like paying attention to it. Like my period was like super irregular, like hormonal imbalances, the way I eat, if I was exercising or not exercising. So at the time I was not exercising. That like for like 3 months straight before I went to Mexico, I was actually traveling. So I had quit my job and I went to Florida with my mom. Then I went to Dominican Republic with my family, and then 2 weeks after that, they were like all 2 weeks apart, and then I went to Mexico. And I spent the most time in Mexico. I was there for like 2 weeks. So, yeah. So I said that to her, and she just goes, if it doesn't come next week, I'm buying you a pregnancy test, and you're taking it in front of me. And I was like, okay. So I didn't think I was pregnant, but at the same time, I was like, I kind of like knew, like subconsciously, I think I knew. Because I'm telling you, I was getting these hot flashes. I was getting so sleepy. But then again, these are all symptoms that I had like naturally because I was not a very healthy person. So it wasn't like the first thing I was like, oh, I have to be pregnant. Like, no, that was like the last thing I thought. So, like I said, my mom, she like kind of pointed out to me that I hadn't got my period, and I was like, okay, whatever. And so then like a week passes by, and we had talked on the phone, like when she like comes back from work, and she's like, have you gotten your period yet? Have you gotten your period yet? And she would do that like 2 or 3 times, and I was like, no, I haven't gotten it yet. So it's one day, she comes back home, and she gets me a pregnancy test. She gets me 2, I think it was. I think it was 2. I can't remember exactly how many she bought, but I do remember the moment I pissed on that stick. I didn't even pee on the stick, really. I literally sat down and like it was like a drop, like a teardrop of piss. And it immediately said positive. I was like 3 minutes my ass. I didn't have to wait 3 minutes. I literally waited like a second. Like my mom, I was like, she heard me like through the wall, and then she was like, what? And I was like, I already have results. And she was like, what? Like, it was so fast. And then we didn't wait at all. I mean, I literally sat. I like barely peed. Like there was like no piss. Like I should have probably drank like a bottle of water, but we were like so anxious that we just wanted to take the thing already. So that happened, and it immediately, with 2 very strong lines, said pregnant. And my mom, I don't think she was ever like, I don't know how she found out she was pregnant with me and my brothers, but it was like she's never like seen one before, because she got confused and she thought it said not pregnant, but it literally says like 1 line not pregnant, 2 lines pregnant. And she was like, oh, it says you're not pregnant. And I was like, mom, that's 2 lines, it says I'm pregnant. And then she was like, what? She literally was like, I'm saying in Spanish because this is how we were talking. She was like, ¿qué? And I was like, yeah, but it was like not, I say like a lot, I'm so sorry. But it wasn't like she was mad. It was like we literally were in shock. I didn't cry. She didn't get mad. We like literally looked at each other, and we both have like horrible vision. We're like basically almost legally blind. I wear glasses and contacts, so. And we were both like, are we like tripping? Like, we gotta be tripping, right? But one of my mom's friends, she goes to our church. She also works at our doctor's office. Like, she's our doctor. So we call her. Well, actually, before we called her, we called my mother-in-law. And she was, you know, driving. My mom told me, she was like, I'm gonna call her. And I was like, okay. Like, I tell my mother-in-law everything just as much as I tell my mom, like literally everything. So I wasn't like embarrassed, I wasn't like scared. I was kind of like, y'all gotta help me out, because I think I'm like freaking out a little bit. So I acted like what I just had seen didn't even happen. Like, I didn't take a pregnancy test. I acted like my mom wasn't there with me. Like, I literally like gave my mom the test, and I just sat down on the couch while she was calling my mother-in-law, and I was just like chilling on the couch. I kept watching like whatever I was watching. So she calls and she goes, Sandra. And she's like, what? Because it was on speaker. She's like, you will not believe what I just found out. And she was like, what? She goes, Melanie's pregnant. When I tell you that lady busted out laughing, she was literally like hysterically laughing. Like, we were like joking with her. She was like, no, she's not. She's like, yes, she is. She just took a test and she barely peed and it says positive. And then she just kept laughing. Now, someone was in the car with her, or like she was picking someone up or something like that. So she was like, I'm gonna have to call you like right back because I'm with blah blah. And then my mom was like, okay. So like 5 minutes passed, maybe not even, I don't know. It was hella quick after. She calls back and she was like, we have to go like to the doctor. Like, they both agree, like we all three agreed that I should go to the doctor, and a doctor should confirm if I am or if I'm not, because like we were not gonna confide on this like one stick. You know what I mean? So that's when my mom called our doctor, and she, normally we don't get appointments that quick, but she made a special exception because she knows us very well, like personally. So I made the appointment for the next day, right after my mom gets off of work. So my mom, you know, I wouldn't say she was calm, but she was holding it together. I was definitely in denial, 1000%. I was acting like that didn't just happen. Like I was like not confident that the doctor was gonna say no, but I wasn't like freaking out like that. Like, I was seriously in like denial, 1000%. Like, it didn't register into my brain. So, and they continue. So the next day comes, and I was not gonna tell my husband. Now, he's not I'm gonna say husband because currently he's my husband, but whatever. So at the time, actually, we weren't really talking. So I didn't want to tell him, like, nothing. Like, I don't want to tell him jack squat. And so we had agreed, and we made the appointment that it was just going to be me, my mother-in-law, and my mom. My mom comes back from work. She's like, get in the car because we're running late. Like, Sandra's like already there. So my mom goes and she changes her shoes and she changes her work shirt. And then she's like, oh, by the way, like, as she's changing, she's like, Carlos is going to be there. When I tell you, I said, what? So loud. I was like, why would you guys tell him? Like, that was like my thing. Like, if anyone was gonna tell him, it was gonna be me. Like, that wasn't gonna be my thing. But apparently his mom told him the night before because of something. Like, she brought it up for some reason, and then later on I found out like what it was. Like he was like maybe thinking about going to school somewhere else, and then like he stopped going to school for a bit, and then his cousins came to visit from Mexico. And they were like telling him about something, like some type of like went to school like in Mexico for, I don't know, something like that. And his mom was like, no. And he was like, why not? This is like a great opportunity, like helps my education. And then she's like, because you're gonna be a dad. And he knew damn well from when it was, we knew. So, so I got so nervous. I thought I was gonna literally like shit myself. Like, I really thought, I was like, oh, like, I'm about to blow up these pants. So we get in the car, we get there. I see Sandra Suburban, and my heart like literally dropped. So I was like, oh my God, I'm about to see him, and I haven't seen him for a while. So but he wasn't with his mom. He actually went to go pick me up, and I didn't even know. So we were all there, and then he called his mom, and he was like, Mel's not home. She's like, yeah, she's here with her mother. And then so he ends up coming, and as soon as he walks through the door, we both just start laughing. Like, I literally think we had to wait like 5 minutes before my appointment, like before like going into the room. We were all gonna go together. I wanted everyone in there, and yeah, and we just kept laughing and laughing and laughing, and our moms were like, are y'all okay? Like, we just kept laughing like so much. We would just like look at each other like this, like a little bit, and then we would like almost like cry of like laughter, like so hard, as if someone just said like the biggest joke. And he was just like, hey, how are you? And I was like, I'm good. And he's like, you look good. And I was like, thanks. And then like it got quiet kind of, but we kept like smiling or like laughing or something. And he's like, so are you sure? And then I told him how like I barely peed, and my mom saw the test, and it came out positive like immediately and everything. And then he was like, okay. He was like definitely the most chill out of everybody, because my mom was about to like have a panic attack at this point. She looked so worried, and she looked so worried because, you know, in a Hispanic family, when you get pregnant young, you know, you get your ass beat. So, and my dad is very strict. He was like the one person no one wanted to tell that I was pregnant. Like, we were all like, oh my God, like, prepare Melanie's funeral, because her dad's gonna beat that ass. So we all go in. She says, Melanie, and we're like, oh shit. And so we go in, and I'm literally so nervous. And I think the fact that he was there made me even more nervous, because I don't know, like, I knew that when I sat on that seat, that they're gonna be like, you're pregnant. So I took a test. Well, she took my pressure, blah, blah, blah. So she's like, pee in this cup. And I would go to the bathroom and I pee in the cup. And like, not even 5 minutes later, I want to say like 3 minutes later, 2 doctors come in. And they're like, yep, you're pregnant. And I just burst into tears. Like, I was totally fine the whole time. I had been nothing. I haven't, you know, like, so in denial. And then the lady comes in and she goes, you're pregnant. When I tell you, I had like the ugliest cry. I just immediately went to like tear mode. Carlos just kept staring at me, and he was pretty calm. My mom and my mother-in-law, I remember like they got like wide-eyed for like a second. They were like, you know, but I don't know. My mom was scared. My mom was like, you could tell she was scared. But like their reactions made me feel a little bit better, because I was hysterical. Like, I literally couldn't stop crying. Like, nothing was making me stop. And I know I got off the seat, and the lady was like, this is a blessing, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, for morning sickness, so when you start to feel it, you know, have crackers, you know, she's like, you have to stay nutritious. Because remember how I said I was sick and had the flu? So I had gone into the doctor before, and they checked my weight, and that was like 2 weeks apart, maybe, that had happened when I gone to the doctor for the flu, and then when I went to go check if I was pregnant. And I had lost like 8 pounds. Yeah, from throwing up, from just being completely, just staying in bed, not eating. She was like, you need to really work up your appetite. Like, this is not safe. And I was like, okay. So she was like, oh, do you guys want to keep the pregnancy test, right? Because they like dip it in this like thing. And my mother was like, heck yeah. She was like, I'll put it in a scrapbook. When she said that, I was like, no, just throw it away, but no, she actually kept it. I just thought it was so funny. And my mom was like laughing at her, because she was like, oh, I want to put it in a scrapbook and all this stuff. And so then we all walk out. My doctor talks to my mother-in-law, my mom, by themselves, and then they're like friends, so they were like all talking. And Carlos just like, we were like by the entrance, and he just like hugged me. He was like, it's gonna be okay. And I was like, no, like, you don't understand, like, I don't want to have this baby. Not that I wanted an abortion at all. Like, I believe that a woman has the choice to make whatever decision that she wants. But personally, I would not make that decision. I would have a baby. When I said that, because he was like, you want an abortion? And I was like, no, no, no. Like, I was just like, I cannot believe I'm about to be a mom. Like, it was just like the shock of it all that I was like, I don't want it right now. Like, it was like I wanted to freeze the baby from growing and then wait till I was ready. It was like I wanted to do that. Like just freeze them, you know? And then when I was ready, then he can continue his little process. But obviously, like that can't happen. So I was like, wake up. So we leave, and I actually left with Carlos, and we went to Panera, and we talked, and yeah, I think I was a pretty hot mess, like mentally, like I didn't know what to do. It was such a new situation for me, and he kept me very calm, and you know, he was like, I'm gonna do everything I can to provide for this family. I want to be a family. I want to be there every step of the way. I want to wake up. I want to go to sleep with both of you, you know. He was, I'm about to cry. He was amazing, and he still is really amazing. Like, he really takes care of me and all that. So yeah, right now I am 38 weeks pregnant, and I'm due anytime now. The last time I went to the doctor, I was 3.5 centimeters dilated. So baby's coming sooner than we thought, because today is the 13th. Due date is the 26th, but we're thinking that he's coming earlier because he is so low. Let me tell you, he is low. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my story. It was a pretty long video, but I think I got everything in there. I'll probably do another video of like being married at a young age. I think a lot of people talk down to couples that have been married at a young age, but I don't see the issue. If people want to get married, they can get married. So far, we're having a wonderful life together. We're starting off amazing, and we're like really lucky. Like, we're very lucky with the position that we're in, and we're just like really excited at this point to meet our baby boy. We have like an image of what he looks like in our head, and we're just so excited and like anxious to meet him. It's like ridiculous. Like, I have been trying remedies for like a week freaking straight, and I'm just like, come on baby, come on, I want to meet you. But anyways, so I hope you like this video and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.